Coming to you from deep inside the bowels of a great big empty. Get ready for another episode of The Home Defense Show with Skip Coryell.
And that was Golden Glenn, the official announcer of the Home Defense Show, and I'm your host, Skip Coryell, author of 22 books, Marine Corps veteran, founder of the Second Amendment March, proud father of 7, grandfather to 20 and counting, and as a special bonus, I'm also madly in love with my own wife. My priorities in life are God, family, and country, in that order, and I hereby promise to never compromise in my convictions. I may go broke, but I'll never go woke. And joining me today is my beautiful, wonderful co-host, my wife, and confidant for life, Sara Coryell.
Glad to be here again. This is great.
Yeah, you haven't been here in a while. What's been going on with you? As if I didn't know.
School and errands and church. I don't know. It's all kinds of stuff.
Life.
Life.
Yeah. I've been busy too. Man, it just seems like normally I slow down in the winter, but I haven't slowed down at all, and now it's almost spring and things are going to pick up again in the spring. So we have a lot of things that's going to be happening soon.
Slow down in the summer kind of year.
Yeah, well,
Did you hear the longing in that? in that
we'll just have to buckle up and, hang on for the ride, I think.
Maybe a little slowing down now and again will work.
Well, all right. Well, Sara, I have got a quote of the week. Something I ran across this quote. I've known about it for years,
Yeah.
but I wanted to run it by again. And here it is. People sleep peaceably in their beds at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. All right, Sara, who said that?
You did.
That's true. I did say that, but I meant who said it before I said it.
Well, but it says Winston Churchill, but I thought that I read somewhere that it wasn't for sure him, that there was actually a couple different people who were attributed to that.
Well, you said him. Who are you talking about?
Winston Churchill.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. He is reputed to have said that, but Hillsdale College has this thing online they call the Churchill Project. They are really good with historical things. And they said it was not Winston Churchill who originally said that. And it's not George Orwell. He's the other one who reputedly said that. A lot of times, these famous quotes, it's like once they get online, they develop a life of their own, and they just keep perpetuating over and over again. But basically, Churchill didn't say this, Orwell didn't say this, Rudyard Kipling didn't say that. But basically, what happens with quotes like this is the original person will say something that might be similar to the final quote, but then over time it just keeps getting improved on. Like that game of telephone where you whisper something in someone's ear and then it goes down the line, and by the 10 people later, it's totally different.
Right.
That's that kind of a deal. But I think it's a great quote. I love the principle. People sleep peaceably in their beds at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. I know what my thoughts are on that, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I want to hear about your thoughts. You go ahead.
Well, my thoughts are probably what you would guess. It's like, we have all this defund the police and um, anti-military stuff that's going on, DEI stuff that's going around, and people who are potentially violent, sheepdogs, soldiers, police officers, they get denigrated because they are violent men. And I think it's okay to be violent. Sometimes violence is the only conflict resolution tool that works. And we sleep peaceably in our beds because other people are willing to do violence on our behalf. That's that's the way it's always worked. Society has always worked that way. There's always been protectors and defenders. And
They should be given respect and gratitude.
yeah, yeah, because they're doing this at great expense to themselves.
Their sanity.
Yeah, their sanity. Because when you have to, be violent in order to protect someone who's innocent, that affects you. I mean, that's why we have PTSD, and that's why protectors and defenders might have to go to therapy or something like that, because it spiritually wounds people to have to hurt or kill someone else of their own species. I mean, when I shoot a deer, I can justify that. I can rationalize it. It's solemn and it affects me. It makes me quiet and reverent, but it's like, okay, yeah, it was a deer. It wasn't a human. Okay, that's a big difference to me. But if I had to kill someone to protect you or the kids or whatever, I wouldn't regret doing that, but I wouldn't enjoy doing that either. And it would cause me problems. I might need some therapy to actually get over it.
Others do.
Yeah. But on the other hand, if I had the power to protect you and I chose not to use that power and let you get hurt real bad or die, that's something I couldn't live with. I couldn't recover from that.
Well, thank you for
Well,
that.
yeah. Well, I know you have trouble with that. And I do, but more so, even women have trouble with that in general. When I talk to all my students from class, women are nurturers by instinct, and men are protectors and defenders. At least that's the way, in my mind, it's supposed to be. So when a woman has to be violent in a normal, functioning, healthy society, that's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about normal women. I just know, you're right. I would
Honey, I think you're a normal woman.
as much as possible. Like every possible other way to do it. Is there
Yeah,
any way out of it besides this?
yeah,
Which I think is kind of like you would try to get any way out of it possible. But I think like even like playground boys, there's just boys have more fun battling each other.
yeah.
It's a game. The game is the battle. I like you. Let's have a wrestling match. Girls are like, I like you. Let's go to coffee. Let's sit and talk. Let's craft together. Let's go.
Yeah,
It's like girls. Let's go pick flowers. Let's look at the sunset. Guys are like, hey, I love you. Smack. I
yep.
don't love you. We're just
Uh,
cowboys.
you're exactly right. And our society has gone to the extreme where men and women are the same, but they're not the
We're
same.
really not the same. And we're human,
Yeah,
absolutely. But there's a lot of just real differences in how we're wired. So
yeah.
we have to
Well,
leave allowances for that.
well, I'm going to read this one last time. And if you want to find out more about this, the history of this, you can go to the Churchill Project at Hillsdale College online. It says, people sleep peaceably in their beds at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. And we'll just end it with that. Okay, and now, Sarah, we have an article about a shooting in Washington State. That's over there in your neck of the woods, since you went to college there, right?
I've
Grew up in Oregon.
20 some years now,
Why
but
don't you
yeah.
go ahead and read that article to us?
Parishioners stop potential shooting at Orthodox Church in Washington State. Alexander Ziyad Muller, 27, of Moses Lake, entered the church while approximately 50 people were attending. According to court documents, churchgoers, including an off-duty officer and a retired police officer, intervened after Mueller's wife allegedly made threats to shoot people inside, reports KIMATV.com. Officers later discovered a fully automatic AR-15 and dozens of rounds of ammunition in Mueller's SUV in the church parking lot. If not for the retired law enforcement officer and the off-duty law enforcement officer in the church, we might have a very different outcome today, Deputy Prosecutor Robert Porter told Judge Chris Harian. We came really close to a mass shooting. According to Porter, a priest who visited the couple's home on Friday to give a blessing observed behavior that raised concerns. 2 days later, when they arrived at Prophet Elijah Orthodox Church, Mueller's wife stated that she had intended to shoot people there. The retired officer on the scene observed that the woman appeared to be in a mental health crisis, behaving erratically. She began rapidly crossing herself and making serious threats. The retired officer, who was carrying a concealed pistol, intervened and confronted Mueller and his wife. A Glock 9mm handgun and a small quantity of ammunition were recovered from Mueller. According to a probable cause affidavit, the woman told police she had mental health conditions and hadn't been taking her medications. She reported believing that demons frequently controlled her actions and that government entities used her body to carry out operations. She was transported to Kittias Valley Healthcare Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. Mueller was held on a $1 million bail following his initial court appearance on Monday and is currently being held at Kittias County Jail. Wow, what a mess.
Yeah, and this is one that most people don't even know about. We only seem to hear about the events at church where a whole lot of people die.
Yeah.
But this is one where it was thwarted before it went south.
Yeah.
And man,
Glory to God, right? That's praise the Lord.
yeah.
Rescue.
This guy was 27 years old.
Well, we were just talking about women typically not liking to get in the battle, and here's this woman. She's like, "I'm gonna shoot everybody." So,
Yeah.
but she's got psychiatric problems, so.
One thing confused me. Officers later discovered a fully automatic AR-15. That's AR-15s by nature are not intrinsically fully automatic. It would have had to have been modified or it wasn't an AR-15.
Okay.
So something that shows that there was some planning went into this, and not everyone can just make something fully automatic. You got to go online, you got to figure it out. Man, but
I don't really know if it was him or her. Like, it looks like they were in it together somehow.
yeah, it sounds like it was a bit of a conspiracy. I mean, I like to think that if you were on the verge of modifying my AR-15 to be fully automatic and going and killing everyone at church, I might notice that.
Well, problem. He seems to be in on it.
Are you hiding something? You're hiding something from me, aren't you?
I was. What you were starting to say made me think that you'd be very proud of me if I knew how to make your AR
Well,
fully automatic. But then you kind of took a turn there. We're not going to shoot people.
Well, it is a felony.
To shoot people at church?
Well, yes, that too, but to modify your gun to make it fully automatic, that would be definitely a felony. So don't do that, honey. Okay.
I think that ought to be a felony, personally. Just
well, actually, we can't afford a fully automatic gun. It is a totally different thing. But I think the takeaway here is that people were paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean,
two guys who were off duty, one retired, one off duty, right?
Well, and the priest too.
The priest too.
The priest was paying attention. Man, it's important to do that when someone is exhibiting signs of mental duress. You have to get involved and say something. And priests and pastors, they're like first responders in that regard.
They really are, yeah. In a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah, it says the priest visited the couple's home on Friday to give a blessing. He observed behavior that raised concerns.
Well, she's rapidly crossing herself, which usually
yeah.
And in the same sentence, and making serious threats. Those two behaviors don't go together. Right?
No, they do not.
There's humility. The crossing yourself is meant to be reverent and humble and by God's power kind of a concept, and then making serious threats. That's the opposite. I'm going to take it into my own hands and get my back.
Yeah, the two are diametrically opposed to one another.
Right, so she's not making sense.
Absolutely. Well, this was in Washington State at Moses Lake. I thought, well, now that's an interesting twist there, Moses Lake.
Yeah.
But at an Orthodox church. So
I don't think I've ever been to Moses Lake. There was a girl at my college from Moses Lake.
Yeah. Well, we don't hear a lot of active shootings and things like that at like Orthodox and Catholic churches.
It's just a tiny little church too.
Yeah, 50 people. Yeah, 50 people, which could be why it was noticed. Some of these Protestant yeah, non-denominational churches, they're like 5,000 people.
Might not notice if there was somebody acting a little erratic.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean,
all right, Moses Lake, Washington. Hey, want to thank the priest, the off-duty officer, and the retired police officer who intervened. Probably saved a lot of lives on this one.
yeah.
Well, sir, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you for having me on the show today. I've enjoyed it.
All right, not a problem. All right, you know what? We have not talked about our sponsors yet. Let's talk about United States Concealed Carry Association, shootingclasses.com, Center Shot Indoor Gun Range, and Trinity Training and Security. They're all on our website. You need to check them out. Give them your business if you at all can, because without them, this show wouldn't be on the air. All right, folks, that about wraps it up for this week's show. I've had a good time, and I hope you have too. I've written 20 plus books, and they're all available on Amazon.com in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. This week, check out my book, Sunrise Reflections, Finding Hope in Hard Times. I think you'll like it. And also check out the Home Defense Show videos on Rumble.com. And if you want training from me in person, then check out Midwest Tactical Training at shootingclasses.com. Please join us again next week for all your home defense needs. In the meantime, God bless and stay safe.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Home Defense Show. Now, get out there and protect the ones you love. We'll see you next week with more of the best.
Bye-bye, boys!
Have fun storming the castle!
Firearms training should be easy. Instructors can focus on teaching and not worry about all the complex paperwork and management behind the scenes. Just pull the trigger and let us do the administrative work. Welcome to shootingclasses.com.
At Center Shot Gun Range, we are passionate about training. Don't know where to start? We offer a 1-hour new shooter seminar to introduce you to the world of firearms and help you find training opportunities specific to you. Concealed carry, home defense, firearm safety, AR-15, private one-on-one training, custom training, or maybe you're on a security team looking to protect your church or business. We even offer weekday morning and evening classes. Center Shot Gun Range has you covered. Start your journey at centershotgunrange.com.
Firearms training should be easy. Instructors can focus on teaching and not worry about all the complex paperwork and management behind the scenes. Just pull the trigger and let us do the administrative work. Welcome to shootingclasses.com.
Attention business owners. Are you leaving your website open to security issues and hacking due to a lack of maintenance or overseas outsourcing? Don't let that happen to your business. Choose experienced U.S.-based website developers that can customize your website to fit your specific needs. Appletree MediaWorks has been growing businesses online since 2009. With over 80 years of combined experience, their team conducts constant research and development to keep up with ever-changing online threats. Your website deserves the best protection available. Call Appletree MediaWorks today at 877-977-1364 to keep your website secure and grow your business online. Or visit appletree.media.
Avoid danger, save lives, and keep your loved ones safe. If this sounds good to you, you sound good to me. And I'd like to help you do those things. Avoid danger, save lives, and keep your loved ones safe. If you're looking for more excitement in your life, we have nothing to offer you. But if you are a thoughtful, responsible, nonviolent man or woman, we'd love to teach you what to do if something crazy happens. More importantly, we'd like to teach you what not to do. We currently have over 500,000 members. They are doctors and single moms and firemen and grandmothers and veterans and Democrats and Republicans and members of every faith. But the one thing they all have in common is that they know exactly what to do if something crazy happens. When you're with one of our members, you are safe. Our members know how to de-escalate situations. They know how to calm things down. We are the United States Concealed Carry Association. See what we're all about at usconcealedcarry.com.
Discover the little-known backstory of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association at usconcealedcarry.com.